honored to be empowered by the President of my country to present you with this award. The award of Dusty, presented to Commander Volkov Sergei Alexandrovich for his courage and his willingness to work with others, especially for his achievements in September of last year. He is our commander forever. Unfortunately, Mr. Morgenson is absent, but again, I'm proud to present the Dusty Award to you. And also the supporting documentation. Thank you. I will not fail you. Of course, we are happy to be here in Kazakhstan. They always welcome us. It's not our first landing here, and we're happy that everything went well. And so happy to see all you here again welcoming us. And we are so glad to have such a good landing, as all other cosmonauts would agree. Dear colleagues, Sergei, Mikhail, Scott, I want to congratulate you on successful accomplishment of your flight program. All the best to you. Lots of success. What a face! You look just like it. Thank you. Okay, show us, please, show us.
After a year, Scott, would you consider something you would think about?
I would always consider flying in space without
Okay, guys, go on.
Astronaut Scott Kelly, back from an amazing year in space, an amazing landing. Scott, welcome home. Describe the first impressions you had when the hatch was open, you smelled that cold, crisp air, and your first thoughts back on Earth after a year.
The cold air was amazing. For fresh air is the air. I don't mean to say it's not fresh on the space station, but it's there's nothing like new cold air coming into the capsule, and the actual burning smell of the capsule tastes a little dark. Smells a little bit like some kind of fragrance. It's kind of an odd smell. And I actually thought it was the vegetation initially, so that was different, I guess.
You vowed before you launched a year ago to avoid the calendar, to stop looking at the clock, to mark the passage of time, but it must have been an overwhelming feeling of relief when you got outside and your mission was out of hand.
Yeah, I think I did a pretty good job of that. I wouldn't say it was a relief. It was, leaving the space station was bittersweet. I've been there a long time, so I look forward to leaving. But at the same time, it's a magnificent place, and I'm going to miss it. So, mixed emotions, I guess.
You talked a lot during the mission about missing people back on Earth. So when the crowd was around you outside the capsule, what did you think with all that adoration being heaped upon you and your crew?
I thought it was great to see all those people there. Especially you recognize a lot of the people, friends, the people that you've worked with, in the U.S. and in Russia for in some cases decades. So it was great to see everybody.
You said in the change of command ceremony the other day, you looked at Misha and said, "We did it." Did the enormity of what you really have accomplished here, a year in space, has it washed over you at all? Have you had 2 seconds to think about it?
Well, you know, when I said that, I was trying to make a point, and I said, you know, we had been saying to each other, you know, we did it, but it's really not about us. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, thousands of people that go into this, and, you know, their jobs are just as important, because it's kind of like a link in a chain. If you know, break one of them, the chain breaks. So everyone's important in doing something this complicated. So it's great doing it with him, though. He's a great guy.
The mission's over, the science begins now, and it was all really about all the biomedical work to try to begin the journey to Mars, learn more about the ability to stay in space for a year or more. How do you feel, and looking back on it, how difficult was this year aboard the station?
A year's a long time, you know. I felt like I'd been up there my whole life, you know, after about the first 6 months, which is like the normal increment. The normal increment is about 6 months, and that's a long time. So a year's really, really long. But I'm definitely encouraged on our ability to go even longer. I mean, I kind of, you know, even though I look forward to coming home and there's things that I miss, I felt like if it was for the right reason, I clearly could have stayed, you know, however long it took.
Okay. And finally, Scott, looking back, if you had to sit down right now and write an account of the most significant accomplishment of your year in space that you spent with Mikhail Kornienko, what do you think it would be, and what do you think the most lasting impact will be of this odyssey?
You know, I think, you know, expanding our envelope and our ability to operate in space is something that's going to take us further from this planet. I believe that is doing that, exploring and, you know, developing technology to do so is very important to our economy, to our way of life. So I think, you know, Misha and I were a small part in doing that, and I hope we continue to do it, and I think we will. And you know, by going to Mars one day, it'll make things better here on Earth. So I'm happy to be a part of that.
Mikhail Kornienko back home on Earth after a year in space. Misha, congratulations on your mission. What were your first impressions when you left the Soyuz capsule and saw all of the people around you and smelled fresh air?
Михаил Корниенко, поздравляю с возвращением домой после годового полета. Скажите, пожалуйста, какие у вас были первые впечатления после того, как вас извлекли из капсулы «Союз», вы увидели всех людей, которые находились рядом с ней, и какие первые впечатления?
Первое впечатление – это воздух, когда открывается люк, это воздух Земли. Первое впечатление – это воздух, когда открывается люк, это воздух Земли. Я хотел весь мой полет, наверное, как мой коллега Скотт, я хотел увидеть Землю, обнять Землю, я почувствовал воздух Земли. Это незабываемое ощущение.
First feeling, of course, and first impression is the air back on Earth. During the entire flight, just like Scott, I wanted to see Earth and I wanted to smell that fresh air. This is an unforgettable feeling.
Я увидел вокруг себя очень много друзей, и американских друзей, и российских, и казахстанских. И, конечно, это impressive, как сказать, да, это меня очень